that's for your retreat. So close your eyes, get yourself ready. Oh, before we do that, Brian, could you put the picture up? So when we get to the part of the meditation where we do this, and this is just an image, it doesn't have to be your image, because your image is your mind. But the idea of having a Buddha, a Bodhisattva, a teacher, Jesongkapa on your head, it's kind of like this. Just to kind of have an idea what it looks like, and then just let it become your own. All right, so get ready. Please silence your phones. We don't need any alarms going off during meditation, although they could be special messages. And commit yourself to sitting still for the rest of the meditation. You won't move. And it's also a special message that we're trying to start meditation and people are coming in late. Wonder why I have to see that, Tim. Sunam, could you after they come in, shut the door, please? Thank you very much. All right. Make your last noises. Crumple the paper. Tech table, drop something. There we go. Thank you. All right. And please come to stillness. Notice the sensations of the breath in the body. Notice how it feels to exhale and inhale. And meditating in a group is very powerful. And so make a commitment to not move, because you don't know who might be having a deep, deep experience. They may be super close to seeing emptiness directly. And you moved and disturbed them. Do it for others, not for you. And then begin by counting your breath with the exhale first, and inhale. And we'll count to 25 breaths. And then visualize your teacher speaking in many languages, sitting in front of you. You're sitting knee to knee. And it feels like you're with your friend, the kindest, most supportive friend ever. And think about one quality about them that you like, one quality that they have that you would like to develop yourself. And rejoice that you see it in them. And then we're going to make offerings to them. One of the best offerings is your own practice. How you struggle to understand. Your struggle to be a better person. Your struggle to bring more wisdom into your life and others' lives. The struggle is the practice. Offer it to them joyfully, with humility. And in our journey, we do make mistakes. So think of something over the last day where you may not have been the person you aspire to be. Maybe you reacted strongly. Maybe you got irritated with somebody. Maybe you argued with your teacher. Even if in your own mind. Let them know. They're happy to see you grow. And part of growth is admitting our mistakes. And then bring a big rejoiceable in. Especially here at Diamond Mountain, there's so many people serving, so many people generating good karma. Review the last couple of days and let your teacher know the goodness you saw in other people. then ask for blessings. Ask your teacher to teach you. And open your heart to the teachings that you need. And be prepared for what comes. And then ask your teacher to stay close. The act of asking them to stay close. The act of asking them to come, to be with you, plants a very, very powerful seed. So we're going to take just a couple minute break here. We're going to open our eyes, take a little stretch. It's okay to take breaks in meditation. Brian, could you put up the PowerPoint from yesterday? Yes, thank you. So we're going to do this practice now together, just to have a once run through. So what we're going to do is, our Lama is still sitting in front of us. Don't forget they're still there. You didn't bring them into your heart. You didn't just push them away, right? They're still there. Don't ever leave angels hanging out. They got to do something with them. We're going to invite them to come to the tip of our head. And we're then going to request those blessings again and ask them to purify us. And so as that nectar is falling down from their heart into you, we're going to recite the mantras together. Now, we have two options. The one that's being projected. But if you don't have this one memorized yet, that's why retreat is great. You can memorize it. You can do the second one. Next slide, Brian. Or previous slide. Yes, you could do the easy one. That's easier to remember. Okay. So when you're reciting mantra in groups of people, it should be like the toilet story. Geshe-la's in the toilet, talking to his future Buddha. Just loud enough for someone next to him to hear, but not in the next stall. Okay. Right? Just a whisper. The traditional way to describe that is that I think it's something that description is like hungry goat. Did we poop up there? Excuse me, just kidding. Okay. Is that the spirit, like the hungry ghosts in the room? If they're right next to you, they can hear you. All right. The toilet example is a lot easier to fathom. Anyway, person next to you should be able to hear a little. Okay. So you can do this one, Om Mani Padme Hum. Let's repeat that. Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay. It's a whisper. Then let's put up the other mantra for those of you that don't know it that well but want to work on it right now. You can see it on the screen. Can we flip back to the other slide, please? Oh, it's not there. Sorry. Okay. So being in a group, we're not going to sing the mantra together. Okay, we're just going to recite silent if you decide to do this mantra. Right? Okay. But if you can't do it quickly, it's okay. Okay? All right. So we're going to do. Does anyone have a mala I could borrow? Yeah. Or you can do whichever mantra is your mantra. Okay. All right. Let's close our eyes again. Every time someone's phones go off, just imagine it's a call from Jason Kappa or from the Buddha, or just, we had a thing in the last ACI class that I taught that there was a Microsoft sound that kept going off, and it was just the Buddha calling us. So just remind yourself that it's the Buddha. All right, let's close our eyes, but turn off your phones. And re-visualize where you were with your teacher sitting knee to knee. And you just ask them to stay. And you see how happy they are with you, that you even asked. And now ask them to help you even more. Ask them to help you to purify your negative deeds. And bring to mind something that you do want to remove from your life, something that you're just done with. You're done with a certain emotion, a certain situation. And you're asking them to help you purify that seed so it can end. Be specific. And then you see them shrink down, very small, and come to the tip of your head, facing in the same direction. And you see light entering their body, being empowered by all the other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. All of them are merging into your teacher. All of their wisdom, all of their compassion coming into their heart. And you see their heart, you see the light in their heart grow. And then that from their heart drips down a purifying golden nectar. And feel it enter the tip of your head. Feel its warmth. And gently, as it moves, fills your body, it pushes down all the negative seeds, all the negativities around this thing you want to purify, this thing that you want to end. And you see it coming out at the bottom of your body. And a hole opens up underneath your body and it falls in. Those negativities fall away. And maybe the Lord of Death is down there devouring them. Find all the hidden parts inside of you that where those negativities might be hiding. Gently, with compassion and wisdom, you can see them leaving you. So as those blessings keep coming into you, you can recite your mantra very quietly. I'm going to do 21 times of the Geshe mantra. And in your retreat, you can do a lot more. So you can begin your practice of mantra recitation. So now you see yourself full of that purified essence. And believe that those seeds have left you. It's not enough just to visualize it, but know that they're leaving you. They have left. And then for the next 3 minutes, do a 4 powers practice on that same situation, that same thing you visualized. Understand that everything comes from seeds. And that something was done in the past to plant it. Have a little bit of intelligent regret. Commit to not doing it again for a time period. And then spend most of the time visualizing a makeup activity. Visualize you doing the opposite and really feel it in your body. We'll do that for about 5 minutes now. And as you're visualizing your makeup activity, really feel good about it. Like, feel the rejoicing, cultivate the goodness within you, and know that you have that capacity. And by changing this seed now inside, can quickly change the outside. Then finally, see your teacher shrink down even more and see them enter in the tip of your head, melting down from the tip of your head into your heart. And see them becoming part of you. And then, optionally, you can continue making offerings to them. And maybe one of the best offerings in that moment is a perfect paradise. You could do the long mandala prayer that you learned here. You can do the short one, or you can just visualize it. Visualize that perfect paradise and offer it to them. And I'm wondering if Rachna, if you can offer the short mandala prayer in Tibetan, and the microphone's coming around.
Puki Jukshin Me Tok Cham Rirab Lingshin Inde Gempadi Sange Shindu Mikte Ulvagi Jokunam Dakshina Jubasho Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami.
We're not doing refuge right now, just the mandala prayer. You can do that as well if you'd like in your own practice. Okay. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So that was about 40 minutes. If you did a few rounds of mantras on your mala, very quickly you would be at an hour, right? And it's okay. And as I said, it's okay to take breaks. You know, it's actually better to take breaks in meditation. It freshens up your mind. And then eventually you'll be able to stay in an hour in fresh, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed shamatha. Thank you. Okay. So really quickly, I'm sorry guys, I did not give you everything I needed. Do you have the schedule for tomorrow? Or excuse me, for today? But I'd like the schedule not for this afternoon, but for like the full day schedule, please. I know some of you online there is an online schedule for a retreat. Ours is slightly different just because we're here in person. But what I'd like to do is just go through the schedule quickly so you know what to expect. And then we have Q&A where you can ask us anything. All right. Okay. I just got while we're waiting for the schedule, I just got a really beautiful message from So Hector, Marcel, and Supriya from the Three Jewels are in the Malaysia group, right? I just got a really, really beautiful message from them. He said that we finished a really wonderful 5 days. It was really, really special. And Hector hopes that all of us, including all of you, are having a wonderful, wonderful Diamond Mountain event. And that they're very grateful for the opportunity to be there in Malaysia. So if you're listening in Malaysia right now, so we're so happy to have you with us. Here's a short plug. We would like to do more of these kinds of events in the world simultaneously. So if you would like to help us, we need people in Europe, maybe in Latin America, because not everybody can come to the United States. It's a blessing to be able to come here, and don't forget that. Don't forget that it's a very special blessing to be able to be here in person. And there's thousands of people that want to be here and can't. That's why we offer everything online, right? But if you've always wanted to be here and you haven't been able to get here, like Jackie, this is her first time in a karma ripened, right? Like, you know what it's like to want to be there and can't, so rejoice that you are here, and please do the practice for other people. I'm going to get emotional before we're getting into retreat, but do it for all the people that couldn't be here, right? And all the people that need it in the world. Okay, so are we ready? Okay. Can you go to this 24 to 26? Okay, cool, right there. All right, so y'all are going to wake up at 6 a.m. if that's part of your practice. Some of you might need to sleep. You're going to get a copy of this. Don't worry. You don't need, if you want to put on, you can take a picture. I'm just saying you're going to get a copy. So first, it's 6 o'clock. Wake up. Bathing practice. What does this mean? Treat yourself divine. How would you wash a divine being? How would you clothe a divine being? Get yourself in the mood right away. Even if you're not taking a shower, like wash your face, wash your hands, brush your teeth, I hope. Brush the divine morning breath of a being who's just about to practice mantras. Like, you want your breath to be fresh, right? But think about it that way. Like, think about that you're taking care of a divine being. And if you would like, we're going to do a group practice at Tara Temple. So you can walk to that. That's up by the Lama House. And that's going to start at 7 o'clock. You're more than welcome to stay in your own cottage, of course. But if you'd like to walk up there, you can do that there. And we'll do the meditation we just did now there, okay? Then you got some breakfast. And then from 9:30 to 10:30, it's the meditation on your house. This is where you imagine, what is your house going to look like? Who are you going to be in it? What's important to you? Use it as a creative exploration. It can be a deep meditation. It can be a light meditation. It could be writing. It could be exploration, creativity. All right. This is a great place to imagine future you doing future you things and serving future people. This is one of my favorite meditations. Imagine future Tim teaching future students. And what do future students need? And who does future Tim need to be to teach future students? What does Tim need to let go of? Maybe what does he need to purify? What's some of his pride, which he has a lot of. So then you can do some yoga. Then you got some lunch, right? And then there's a afternoon practice where you can do that practice again and then go outside and walk. You can do your mantras. You can break it up. Okay, you can do the visualization and then be like, oh, I'm going to go do 20 rounds of malas. And you can go walk and do those. Of course, the walking meditation is different than seated, but you can explore that. And again, outside, please, hats, water, sunscreen, careful. The desert is surprisingly dry. I mean, that's a redundant thing to say, but you don't feel it until it's too late. So be careful. And then we have from 4 to 5 this idea. We have this sort of inspiration meditation, right? This is where you can really be creative. Like, think about your life. What would you do differently with your life? If you could let go of everything, don't let go of everything. But if you could let go of everything, what would you do? Who would you be? Right? What would that look like? Spend the time to open your mind, open your heart, allow the space. And if you need to sleep a lot, just sleep a lot. That's my favorite thing to do. And then you walk in the cabin. And it's not in that you can walk in your cabin too, but take another walk outside just gently. It says enjoy the sunset. Someone told me the sunset's at 7 o'clock, so enjoy the pre-sunset. The nice thing here is that the sun goes behind the mountains before sunset, so you get that beautiful. We still have light without the direct sun. You can, and then again, do your mantras in the evening, and then head to bed. Okay, that's the general schedule. And as I said yesterday, it's a suggestion. If you haven't done retreat, try it out, see how it works for you. And maybe you need to adjust. Maybe that 6 a.m. wake up is just not going to happen. Adjust accordingly. Okay. Also, many of you are in shared cottages and things like that. You should figure out how you're going to work together, and respect each other's space and also meditate together and all those things. Okay.
If I wanted to do like my medicine Buddha practice, where would I fit that in? Would I only do it once, or do you do that several times a day?
This is where your retreat experience allows you to make your own choices. So if you have another practice that you would like to do, you certainly can fit that in there and make those adjustments. We offered one practice here, but if you have a strong medicine Buddha practice and you want to do that, substitute at those different times.
Okay, thanks.
But if you would like to, and then maybe some of them you want to do and some of them you don't want to do. It's up to your exploration. What if my microphone doesn't work? What's that? We need $72,000 to improve our tech here.
What if I'm working and I only have like a few hours to do my retreat online?
That's really good. Okay, so here's what I said. That's a really good question. What if I'm working? Okay, this is for the online people. What if I'm working? Hey Venerable Gelsek, you want to come up? We have 10 minutes for questions, but we'll shove some important questions in. What if you're working, right? So commit to a certain amount of time every day. Maybe you'll only have an hour. Maybe you'll have 2 hours. Find that time and commit to it. And then pick of these practices we have here, pick one, right? So if you have an hour, do one of them for an hour. If you have 2 hours, do 2 of them for 2 hours, right? But make sure you commit to a certain time period. And if you're at home, tell your family, hey, I'm going to be doing retreat after dinner from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is really, really important to me. Mommy will be a much nicer person if you let me do this. For example, I don't have kids. I don't know how to talk to children. So that's my impersonation of a parent talking to their child.
There, Tim, right there.
So
right.
as a mother, it doesn't always work to tell your children, especially if they're small, that mommy will be nicer, or daddy will be nicer if you let them do this. Try and include them in your retreat. They will be much more relaxed if they can be part of it. It may not be the solid meditation that you want, but by including them, you're passing on so much to them, and you're not pushing them away. You're inviting them to be part of your practice, your formal practice.
That's what I did during my last lay rung. I don't have kids, but I have cats. And I invited them to be part of the retreat instead of like resisting their snoring while I'm meditating. Right. But seriously, like I like Gelse's advice better than my advice, my original advice. But maybe in your family, maybe you need to carve out time, right? And then maybe there's a time with you can work with your partner where they do take the children, or we have life, and we have to make our practice part of our life. And so how do you carve that out? Even if it's 5 minutes, it's difficult with children. It's difficult raising a family because your time is not yours, really, because you're serving another being or beings, right? And so that service of those beings could be your practice too. Will be. It will be forced upon you by your prior karma. No, but in that way, you can see them. You can see your family as your practice, where you're planting tremendous good seeds. More questions? You can ask us anything. It doesn't have to be about retreat.
Hi. So I tend to go into Lung.
Into the room or into Lung?
Lung.
Lung, okay.
So do I contact you guys first, or what do I do? Oh, okay. Thank you, Suna.
So we will talk about that for the people here after the Q&A. But maybe we should address that for the online people. So if you're in Malaysia, you do have some teachers there, so you can, in the group in Malaysia. So if you're beginning to feel a little too happy, maybe, or you're beginning to feel a little too sad, or you're short of breath, first of all, we talked about it yesterday. Eat some heavy, oily foods. Relax. This was my Lama's advice when I went into 3-year retreat. Relax. Relax. That's like the first thing to do. Stop what you're doing. Go outside, sleep, take a shower. Pamper yourself. Know what you need. And that helps greatly to work with the moon and not let it get out of hand. There is a state where, because of your meditation, your inner winds begin to move inside of you. And they begin to go into the central channel, especially when we're doing this practice of purification. It's asking our winds to come into our heart. And we haven't usually experienced that before. And so we have to be very careful with it. It's like when you get to the ocean and you're not sure what the temperature of the water is, and you kind of put your toe in first. Most people don't just dive into the cold water, or they don't know if it's cold or not. It's the same thing with Lung. Test it out. Back off. Test it out. Back off. And you get to know where your boundaries are with it. It's like learning to ride a wave on a surfboard, or learning to drive, or ride a bicycle. So you go a little off to the left, you go a little off to the right. You learn where the middle way is. That said, so how, we talked about a few things that you can do to regulate it. And eating heavy foods, going out and looking at the sky, having a hot shower, putting oil, especially on your heart. And then if you really need help, go to somebody and ask for help before it gets to be too much for you to handle, right? It can be a natural consequence of meditating. And the excitement part of it can fuel your meditation. It can help you to focus and just know that it's the winds getting into that the central channel, the channel of wisdom, right? The other two channels are opening up. You're not grasping to things so much anymore. And your wisdom is kicking in. I can't tell you when, you have to get to know your own rhythms, your own body, and what's going on inside of it. We are here. And for those of you online, how are we going to help with that?
We will let you know exactly how to do that. Mainly it will be through the Telegram chats and how to reach out to people. And let's chat a little bit later. I have a few personal ideas since I know you a little bit as well. I think what Venerable Geshe said is very key and I want to remind you that, so we've offered a schedule. You might find that doesn't work for you, or it might tighten you up, or you might start feeling anxious, or you might start getting, this phenomenon Lung in it. Adjust. Maybe your sessions are only 15 minutes. Do a 15-minute session, go for a walk, then do another 15-minute session. Adjust it so you can stay as you're regulating your own nervous system and you're regulating your own prana. So that would be my suggestion. If it doesn't work for you, adjust. Don't push.
Take a nap.
Geshe and I love naps.
And we also agree that, when we go into retreat, we've been doing so much to get into retreat. So rest if you need to, right? We sleep for the first few days.
Yeah. Hashtag go to bed. That's the only Instagram hashtag I ever use. Hashtag go to bed. We have time for one more question. Online? Okay, go, Brian.
Could you recite the mantra out loud for people online, please?
The mantra of which?
Jet Sankara.
Okay. Would you like to do it, or would you like me to do it? Or shall we do it together? Okay, are we going to sing, or are we going to recite? Okay.
3, 2.
Make me say way ter chen chen rei sig. Dream me kempe wampo jampel yang. Dupu malu jomze sangwe da. Ganchen kepe tsuken stone kapa. Lob sang drakpe shabla so one dep. Make me say way ter chen chen rei sig. Dream me kempe wampo jampel yang. Dupu malu jomze sangwe da. Kanchen kepe sunken son kapa. Lob sang drape shabla so one deb.
Meek me, say way, ter chen rei si. Dream me, kempe, wampo, jampel yang. Dupu, malu, jonze, sangwe, dak. Ganchen, kepe, sunken, sonkapa. Lopsan, drape, shabla, so one day. Nice. So sometimes I've received the question, how fast should I recite? Maybe that's too fast. Actually, I've discovered that if I say the mantra too fast, it creates lung. Yep.
Because you're moving your actual breath, right? So find a rhythm that works for you. You know, again, we're not counting mantras. You don't have to get to a certain goal. My last retreat, my teacher said, don't count the mantras. I'm like, what? Because he knows I'm obsessed. And it helped. It really helped. It changed everything. You see, so find a rhythm that works for you.
Also, it should be clear.
Clear, yes.
Not muddled.
So we have another class coming up. If you have individual questions, please just grab one of the teachers because we have another class coming up. Don't worry.
Have fun.
Have fun. Like there's no right or wrong. I mean, there is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And there's also not a right way to do it and not a wrong way to do it. And enjoyment. That's the thing. Enjoyment.
Yeah, I think that's the antidote to lung.
Yes.
Is having fun.
Just have fun.
Relax and have fun.
Because then you're actually opening your channels and then maybe something cool can happen.
Hey, you're hanging out with the Buddhas. I mean, what could be more fun than that?
So we have a how much time break? 15 minutes. Ooh, there's a pit. Okay, we have a 15-minute break. And then we're going to come back and we're going to learn about tormas and it's a torma class. Oh, I'm sorry, we're doing bodhisattva vows. Oh, oopsie, that's right. I had a big argument about this and I argued it this way and I forgot. Yes, we're going to be doing vows first. And then after that, we'll be learning how to get into retreat. Okay, cool. So thank you all very much. See you in 15 minutes.